Alright everyone, welcome to Tuesday's video. Good morning, and it's a pretty special video today because we're going to find out more about Kasper Schmeichel, the soon-to-be Celtic #1 goalkeeper. And as you probably know by now, we've kind of got the perfect guest to do it today. Someone who knows Kasper, has played in the defence in front of Kasper, someone who knows Celtic, and someone we know all about as well. Erik Sviatchenko, welcome to Celtic AM. How are you?
Thank you for the introduction. I'm really well. As you said, like it's morning here in Houston, so I'm up. I'm ready for training. We're going to the practice a little bit later, and then we have a hectic schedule coming up in front of us with a lot of games.
It's so early. People don't realise how early it is. It's like 7 a.m. You're up ridiculously early. In fact, 7 a.m. is the time that this video goes out in the UK. So maybe some people are up at 7 a.m. and they know what it's like. Listen, we're going to chat about Kasper Schmeichel. Just first of all, Celtic fans will be wondering how you're getting on. I think it's 6 years since you left Celtic. It's time flies. We've obviously seen you back at Celtic Park since then with Midtjylland and
Yeah.
the kind of COVID days. As you say, you're now playing in the MLS for Houston Dynamo in Texas. Are you enjoying life? How are things going?
Yeah, it's when you say that 6 years, it's going so fast. But I'm enjoying my football. I'm playing maybe the highest level I've played at the age of young 32. I am really enjoying my football at the moment and playing some high level games. And I'm with Houston Dynamo. We had a great season last year where we ended in the conference final and won the US Open Cup. This season has been more of a kind of a transition because people know how good we are, and then kind of it always makes it a little bit harder that season two after a very, very good season. But we're still in the kind of loop of getting into the playoff, which is the most important here in this league. It's kind of going to the playoff, and from the playoffs, everything can happen. And we are kind of maybe 10, 12 games away from the playoffs right now before it starts. And we are right there where we kind of need to win a couple of more games where we can secure it. But yeah, it's tough, but it's great. And Houston is a bit more warm than Glasgow, sure, and a bit more humid. It rains a lot too, so that I'm used to. But otherwise, family is great, and we're enjoying it.
Fabulous. Are there any ex-Celtic teammates out in the MLS? I'm trying to think. There's a few have moved recently, but
Yeah,
not players you would have played with.
Lewis Morgan,
Right?
he's at New York Red Bulls, and Lille Abada is
Yeah.
at. I don't know them personally. I talked a little bit with Lewis after the game. We played him. Then we played against a lower league team, Detroit, where the guy who scored was a massive Celtic fan, and he came in. Hey, can I swap jerseys with you, big man? And
Wow.
yeah, of course you can. And then I've seen a lot of Celtic jerseys around the Houston Dynamo stadium, which is always very, very kind of a nice sight when I spot a hoops jersey. And yesterday, no, 3 days ago, there was a
Yeah.
father and daughter with the Celtic jersey, and we took a picture, and it was just nice to hear Glaswegian.
I was going to say that because there's actually the video came out a couple of days ago. Was it Mon the Hoops? Is that what you said?
On the hoops! Hail, hail!
Does that happen often? Do you bump into Celtic fans who want to say hi to you?
I do, and I still relatively often get messages from fans that are Celtic related. There's kind of a Houstonian Celtic Football Club fan association here, and I still have the time that I want to visit, but I haven't gone yet. But I went and saw Denmark England, and I knew that was the pub because there were Celtic jerseys everywhere. So yeah, it's as I always say, you are everywhere.
Yeah. And do you still follow the team's matches and results?
I follow the results for sure, and always keep an eye on the scores. I don't watch as many games as I would like to, but I know how it's going and who the players are, and yeah, it's a team that I follow with my own former team Midtjylland. Those two teams are my teams.
Fabulous. We're delighted to hear it, and we loved your time at the club and some of your big goals and your big moments. What about Kasper Schmeichel then? It seems very much like he's going to join Celtic in the coming days. Is it a good signing?
Yeah, I think you will get a very experienced goalkeeper. You will get I would say Celtic just had Joe Hart with kind of the same aura around him, experienced, loads of games in the Premier League, national team games. So I think Kasper will come in with some of the same qualities. He is still an amazing goalkeeper. Obviously, he's 38 now.
37.
37. So he is 37 years young, but for a goalie, that is no age. So I think that he will, when it finalizes, and hopefully it does, I think he'll be a perfect addition to the team with so much experience. And I must admit that it always gets to me when fans are kind of putting in the comments that he's going to a farmers league and he's going to this and that. Like, people just don't know the magnitude of the club. Yes, the Scottish League, we all want it to be even better, but for that to be, you have to have a team that are performing at the highest level, and Celtic has done that the past years. And I think for players to be able to play in front of the Celtic fans and be able to travel around the Scottish League with the supporters that are going in so big numbers, I think that is something you want to experience. And football is still at a level where you compete and you can be in the Europa League or the Champions League. So of course you want to be there, but I think the addition of Kasper Schmeichel would be much needed and great.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Joe Hart, who you'll know is a real leader and a big personality. And I think one thing I certainly think, and a lot of other fans, is that Kasper Schmeichel is quite similar to Joe Hart in terms of being a leader. You've been in the dressing room with him with Denmark. Is he one of the vocal ones in the dressing room?
He is a vocal one. He's a leader. He has worn the captain armband for many years. That of course shows the fans that he's the real deal. And coming off so many international games, playing in Euros and World Cups, you just get that keeper that knows the drill so well, and the pressure. He's played under pressure. He'll come and enjoy that kind of love that you'll get from the Celtic supporters. And I hope that you all will kind of give him the same Danish warmth got, because yeah, you fall in love with the place, and I think Kasper will do that. I haven't had the chance to chat with him yet, but I always kind of wait until it's 100% there, and then I think I'll let him know where to move around and get him the good spots in Glasgow.
Fabulous. Did I read somewhere that he was quite helpful to you when you moved to Celtic in terms of contacts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I reached out to Kasper as well, knowing that he had been a young player at Falkirk in the start. So he was always kind of. I think it's a good move for me back then when I was 24, and yeah, he was helpful, and it was always helpful when I was with the national team. Yeah, we talk a lot when we are there, and kind of that was the group that I would be with the goalies. So yeah, I really hope that it's going to be a successful match.
Yeah, he's had some really kind of tough moments to deal with in his career, things that were far more impactful than football could ever be. Matters of life and death. The helicopter crash outside Leicester City's stadium, where 5 people tragically died in 2018. and he was ready to climb into the burning wreckage to try and save lives. We also, as you will know, had Christian Eriksen's collapse while playing for Denmark at Euro 2020. And again, he was someone who showed, immense character in that moment. So he's dealt with, really tough things.
Yeah, he has. And that's always going to be something that carries you with you in a good and a bad way. And that's just, unfortunately, life's cruelty that hits you. But you also get so much stronger of these situations, I would believe. So Kasper comes in with a lot of emotions, and I think he will enjoy that kind of intensity that you will face, but a positive atmosphere that you have at Paradise, and going around, he would still be under pressure for sure, because there's also a pressure to perform at Celtic. It's not like you go there and you can just chill. He needs to be at his best, but with the package that he comes, I think he'll fit in with the emotions that are surrounding around the clubs in a positive way, 100%.
Yeah, he's still 37 years old, 37 years young, whatever you want to say. Some people would maybe worry that he's reaching the end of his career. I know you've probably already answered this, but you still think he's playing at a really high level?
I believe so. He just came over Euros where he did really well. I think you wouldn't be able to see that he's 30 years of age. So in that aspect, I think he only wants to prove all the doubters wrong, that he still has a lot of years. And you see goalies play up until their 40s, and if he takes care of his body, and the Celtic staff around will always help out with all this, with the small things, so he's able to play all the games that he needs. And he hasn't been injured, so I think he's in a good shape. And yeah, it's only up to him to show that he is there and can compete. And I think he can do that for sure.
So he's a top professional, someone who looks after his body.
He is, and he does those things in order to keep himself fresh. More than that, he also kind of, with his wife, has a kind of something called the football fund, which is a football foundation. You would translate it from Danish to, and they do kind of an impactful thing in Denmark, where they're helping a lot of families and kids kind of throughout football to be able to be in this environment where you're kind of included and helpful with families in need. So I think the full Celtic charity and foundation, I think that will also work maybe with their family if he's going to move with his family. I'm not sure yet, but all the aspects around it also makes it a good move.
Yeah, fabulous to hear that. What's it like to be a defender in front of Kasper Schmeichel? Is he shouting orders at you the whole match?
Yeah, he is he's the keeper you want to be behind you, that always are kind of giving directions left, right, all the small things, but also kind of on the corners. He's there, always looking in your eyes. So he's intenseful, and that is you always want from that goalkeeper behind you, so you can know what's happening around you.
Just speaking generally as a defender, because I never played the game at any sort of good level. What difference does it make to have a goalkeeper behind you that you can trust? Does it actually change your mindset as a defender?
I think it's a very important kind of triangle with the two center backs and the defender. No matter where I've played, it's always been that kind of stability and trust in between each other. So having a goalkeeper that oozes of confidence and knows the game, I think that gives you so much more of that kind of edge when you're playing these games. I think that, yeah, a triangle is one of the most important kind of aspects of a team. So Kasper always adds to this kind of important value.
Yeah, and I guess he's played with Brendan Rodgers before at Leicester City, so the the hope would be that those two know about each other, they know what makes each other tick, and
Yeah.
and that'll be positive as well.
No, it's great always to have a manager that brings you in, that has worked with you. That always makes the transition a little bit easier. Kind of how the everyday life is. So it's much easier to adapt and to settle in. So yeah, I think I couldn't see why it wouldn't be a good match.
Very good to hear, Erik. You just finally, you think he'll embrace Celtic just like Joe Hart. The fans will hopefully love him just like we loved you and we loved Joe Hart as well. And it'll all be a positive time.
No, yeah, I'm not in doubt that he will love the time there. I could see that it was kind of a 1-year contract first, and then
Yeah.
be more. So I think, yeah, he will enjoy that kind of love that you always receive from the fans, and playing in front of 60,000 people. I think he has missed that.
Yeah, all sounds good. We're excited to see him, Erik. He's going to be a big player for us, hopefully. Thank you so much for your time. Just one final question before I go. I don't know if you know, Celtic are heading for the United States this week. We've got 3 matches over, I think a bit east from you. I think we're playing over in the east of the country. Indiana, possibly Washington will be one of the games. Are you going to make it to see any of the matches at all?
The funny part was actually I was in contact with Celtic and Ian, who is kind of in charge of their kind of all the commercial aspects of the game, and I was invited to go and have a talk at one of the universities, which I really, really wanted to. And we looked into it last year, but unfortunately, it's just not gonna kind of work in with my schedule. I'm at the West Coast for the next week or so with playing San Jose and Vancouver. So and we just don't have those kind of spare days. But if I had, I would love to travel and to see some of those kind of friendlies.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you at Celtic Park one day soon, and you'll get a great reaction.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for shedding some light on Kasper Schmeichel, and let's hope that he's another successful Danish player. Erik, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and all the best to all the fans and Kasper, yeah, obviously.